So, if you're having troubles with unqualified traffic, people joining your calls, wanting to be educated, no clue what you offer, no money for your offer, right? And want to just wait, payment plans, split everything up, terrible clients, terrible prospects. I'm going to show you in this video how to get qualified people. So if you have unqualified traffic right now, I'm going to show you how to revert it back and get qualified, ready to go buyers, people that already know what you offer, want what you offer, and more importantly, have the cash ready to go in hand. Okay, so if you're new to the channel, my name is Dorian Freilich. I help people like yourself, agency owners, coaches, consultants, scale with paid ads and a lot more, ad strategies, systems, and everything that you need to be successful in the online space. That being said, go ahead, subscribe, hit the like button, and make sure to look out for more videos. Let's dive in. So first things first, we have what we call qualified bookings. And how do we get qualified bookings? So the first thing that we're going to be going over is our call out. We're going to be going over a few things like call out, the messaging, the targeting on pixels, on your ad account, more or less everything that you need to be successful. So let's dive in and let's take a deep look here. So your call out. What is a call out? Okay, there's a couple different call outs. There's like a pain point call out. There's money call outs. There's any sort of call out that basically, again, calls out the ideal persona of the person that you're targeting. Now, everyone has different pain points, different things that they buy off of, different buying reasons. So we can't just gear everything to one typical person. We want to gear it towards the mass of obviously what we call top of market. Now, what is that top of market? That would be these guys here. And there's a very, very select few of them, but we want to make sure, oh, my arrow is hideous. We want to make sure that what we're doing is within power to make sure that we get as many of these guys as possible on our calls. Now, for different niches, different businesses, different verticals, there's going to be a different type of market, or top of market, I should say. For one business, let's call it the online fitness world, right? If you're targeting online fitness coaches, the top of the market is essentially going to be people doing $100,000 a month. Maybe you have guys that are upwards of $250,000 and so on. I know some pretty big guys out there, but the average top of market guy is in and around about $100,000, and then you have your one-offs that are doing, again, let's just face it, $400,000 and so on and so forth. Now, in a different industry, let's say you own an agency that targets home remodelers, contractors in general. The guy that's doing $100,000 a month, he ain't doing too much, right? And again, it goes for the online business as well, online world. But the contractors, more or less, a big contractor is someone who's in and above $10 million a year, right? They're doing about $1 million, just under a month. And from that, you can consider those guys the big dogs. Those are the big dogs in the industry, and you can consider them the top of the market. So everything that we do, we want to call out that top of market. So the top of market is going to be the people making the most amount of money in that market, okay? As you can see on the screen there, these guys in the mid-market, do not get me wrong. These are great clients. They just haven't gotten to that next stage yet, and that good, top of market. But they have the systems, they have the teams, they have everything to get there. They just, might need marketing, might need a better marketing. Maybe they're already doing marketing. Typically, they're already doing marketing, but they just need someone else who actually knows what they're doing, right? So these guys are also really good to work with. They're making money, but at the same time, they're not making as much as obviously the top of the market. So keep in mind, these guys do come through. They're still great guys to work with. The only ones we do not want to work with, and the ones that you're probably working with right now, is going to be the low quality guys, right? Now, I'm not saying every single person you talk to is low quality, but it probably basically drowns out the good quality guys. And with that, your sales team morale is going to go down, and closing rate is going to go down. But realistically, those numbers aren't true numbers, right? You had people coming to your calls for education, no buying intent. Never ever did it trigger that they were going to buy from you, right? They just wanted to say, oh, what's up? What's this guy do? Let me just educate myself, right? So a lot of these people that come to your calls are probably wanting to get educated. So that's why we're going to switch that out, and we're going to talk to highly qualified people. Now as well, when you call out the top of the market, when you call out these guys here, what happens is at most you will get this, right? You'll get everyone in that box. Everyone in this box you will get. What you won't get is the guys at the very bottom, because you will have a call out, right? You're going to say, for example, the contractors that are doing $10 million a year, right? That's going to be in your call out. Whereas the fitness, you'll say, fitness coaches doing, let's say 100K. Obviously, there's much bigger ones. I'm just using this for example, 100K a month, right? You're going to call those guys out because the guys who are doing, let's say for fitness, the guys that are just starting out, they're at $0, right? Or you have the guys that are, I put that backwards, the guys that are at 5K a month right now, you're going to scare them away. They're not going to think it's for them, and nor it's not for them, right? We don't want to work with you guys. So that being said, when you call at the top of the market, you're not going to get the bottom of the market with it. So that's why we always call it the top of the market, because you're still going to get people underneath, but you're not going to get the shittiest people that there is in your market. Now, keep in mind, what happens when people call at the bottom of the market is you do the reverse effect. So you call these guys, you're going to scare these guys away. Not scare them, but they're going to say, hey, like, you can't help me. That's not my pain points. That's not me. Like, you're calling out guys doing 100,000 a month. Man, I'm making $1 million a month, right? So you got to understand the different niches, different verticals. There's a different top of market, and there's a different bottom of market. The guys in the fitness consulting, in the fitness coaching, making $100,000 a month, it's a lot of money, right? Reason being is there's a lot of profits. It's about 80% profit margins, 70% profit margins at minimum, I'd say. Contractors, your profit margins are 20 to 40%, at max 50. You don't see too many of those, especially the bigger guys, right? But if you're making 100K a month, it's not a lot of money. So both businesses can be making 100K, but it's one's making a shit ton and one's not making too much. So you got to keep that in mind when you're targeting your vertical and your area. So that is how you do the call out. Call outs are fairly easy. There's not too much complication. But when it comes to the next part, step number 2 here is the messaging. This is where it can get pretty tricky and difficult. So let me scroll on down on my iPad here. If it wants to scroll down. There we go. So number 2 is our messaging. So everything that we talk about, just how we did a call out, that was messaging, right? That was specifically the numbers section. So the numbers. Our numbers we've already went over. We know how to call out the top of the market within numbers. Now, there's 3 different sections. We have our pain points, okay? In the pain point section here, a guy who's at the top of the market is not going to have the same issues as the guys at the bottom of the market. Matter of fact, you need to be realistic. Guys who are making, and they're at the top of the market, do you really think if they don't get leads, they're going to stop business? Their business is going to crumble? Their families, they don't have time for their family? No, you're living in a false reality. So when you're calling out those big dogs, you need to make sure that you're speaking to them in their language. They don't have a problem hanging out with their family. They don't have a problem with generating leads, generating appointments. They don't have these problems. The problem they have is they're here and they want to continue to grow to here. That's the only problem. They're going to get there, regardless of now or in 5 years. They're going to get there. They know they're going to get there. But one thing that all these rich people want is they want to get there quicker. Speed, right? Action and speed. That's all these rich people care about. So you need to talk their language. How do you talk like a rich person, right? How do you call that person out in pain points? Pretty simple, right? Look, you probably already have the system. You already have the sales team. You guys are probably closing a tremendous amount of deals, right? But you do want to bring on more sales reps. You want to bring on and get a bigger team. You want to expand, open different locations, right? You want to target different niches, whatever it may be. You can go for online businesses and obviously in person, like brick and mortar, okay? You already have all the systems. You have everything. But what you're lacking is more, right? Faster. You want speed. You want to get more qualified people coming through the door, right? What we do is that, right? We have a system that helps you get these qualified people based on these, statistics, blah, blah, blah. And you talk about that. That is how you're going to talk about the pain to a rich person. They don't have typical pain. Like as a low tier person, yeah. You want to spend more time with your family? Yeah. Well, it's because they're so much they're on the tools, or they're stuck looking at their computer all day, on their business, stuck helping clients. They're stuck doing those things because they're at this level. They're not here. So you need to make sure that you're talking to the right person in the right pain points, because the guy down here does not have the same pain points up here, right? This guy, matter of fact, if the pain's not strong enough, if the call's not strong enough, they're not going to go ahead and book a call, or even, matter of fact, show up to that call. So you need to make sure that whatever you're doing is talking to that top-notch, top of the market person, and that's going to be the pain points there. So Again, we've gone over numbers, we've gone over pain. Now, concerns. Typically, what happens here in the concern section, with the lower tier guys, it's a lot of like, oh, I've been burned in the past, right? Oh, I've done this before, that doesn't work. If you talk about ads, maybe you're watching this right now and you've never done ads, right? How do I tell you it's going to work? Okay. Well, one thing I'll tell you is I'm not going to give you high expectations and set these massive guarantees, right? You don't do that because the people that are at the top of the notch, they don't bite on those types of things. So back to concerns with the low quality people, they have all these little things and all these concerns, and they're worried about this and worried about that, right? Whereas the big dog, the only concern is, can you actually do that for me, right? And it seems similar. It seems like, okay, but you're saying the same thing, but it's not. When I say, can you actually do that for me? I want to tell you a little story. So when I first started my agency, I helped HVAC contractors. Okay. One of my not very first calls, but in the first month or two, give or take, I had gotten on a call with a contractor who was doing, he's doing about eight to 900,000 a month, not a year, a month. Okay. Big dog. He's already had marketing channels. He's already had marketing teams. He just wants more. His words, I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. Okay? And it's self-explanatory. Why would you do that? You're at those type of numbers. You already know how it works. You know how the marketing game works. You just want more, and you're going to test to see if there's better quality somewhere here and there. He essentially told us to our face, I don't think you can actually help me with this big of an account. I think I'm too big for you. His exact words. And that's what I mean by the difference between one's concerned, can you get on the results? Because they're reliant. If you don't get them results, their business is shutting doors. And the other one, the concern for results is the fact that they don't think that you, as a business, can even handle them. That's the difference, right? And how do you get yourself past that concern for a bigger company? You need to portray yourself as a bigger company. One of the things that he said, and again, I have the evidence here and the data. The reason for his wording, and he told us this, was the fact that we jumped on a call and we went through a slide with him. And that was the day I had never ever used Google Slides for a pitch deck or a Canvas slides, I can't remember what it was, ever again. Never have I ever used those to this day because it looks very low quality, right? We made it all look fancy, and that's the type of concerns that can be brought up. If your business, if your ads, right? If your business doesn't look professional, if your ads don't look professional, not in a professional setting, it can bring up concerns like this. Concerns of which are a little bit different from the low quality people. Their concerns are you can't bring in the quality that they're after because they're above you, right? So that's the problem. When you talk to rich people, you need to communicate in their style as well. You need to be, look apart. You can't be on a call in a tank top, for example. You can't be showing up in a call and your background's a complete mess. You can't do that stuff. You need to look presentable. Your business needs to look presentable. Your sales team needs to look presentable. You need to talk presentable. You need to sound presentable. What does that mean? You need to talk with authority. You need to sound like you know what you're talking about. Because these guys have different concerns. Top of the market is different concerns. And you need to make sure that you are not portraying more concerns for them. You have a messy background. They're going to, what's the standard with this business, right? So that is the concerns. The next thing here I have is communication style. So the communication style is in line with all of this here. Okay, now what the hell does that mean? The communication style, you need to talk their numbers, okay, as well. You need to talk like them. If you're targeting a younger audience and agency owners, for example, right? I talk to you guys differently, like coach consultants, agency owners. I talk to you guys differently than when I was talking to old, brick and mortar contractors, those types of businesses. They don't understand the new lingo, right? I had to put myself in the position of them, how they talk, how they communicate, old school, right? I'm not texting them, I'm not going back and forth on Instagram. I'm calling them, right? Have a good conversation. Think of your parents, right? Maybe nowadays it might be sitting on the phone, but think like maybe your grandparents. Like you're not DMing your grandparents. So communication style is everything. And back to what I was saying, use their lingo. You got to talk like them. You have to look like them. Even because I'm not communicating it, right? You got to look the part. That's what I keep saying. You have to look the part. You have to be presentable. It's going to generate more concerns. The communication style, you have to communicate as one. For example, rich people, when they're talking about money, it's typically not, oh, I got this much money. It's, I have this much funding, I have this much liquid, right? That's the little details, fine details is what they use. They're not talking about cash. Yeah, here and there they might, money, but they're talking more different style of communication, right? Investing. I'm going to invest my capital, right? How much capital do you have? That's how they talk. Okay, so you have to use their not numbers. You have to use their communication style if you want to fit the part. If you talk like a low-level person, you're going to generate low-level people. If you talk and communicate as a highly ranked individual, you're going to get more people like that because you're going to, in a sense, attract what you are, right? So that is the messaging. So right now you're probably geared towards low quality. So you need to make sure that you cover these 4 quadrants: the pain, concerns, numbers, and communication style, to then only attract the big dogs. Now, here we are at Facebook. Number 3 is your Facebook ad account targeting. If this is not set up correctly, you are going to be in an endless cycle of unqualified people. What does that mean? Well, let's do this. First, you have your ad, okay? Number 1 is your ad. In your ad, essentially, you're going to have your callouts and all that fun stuff, and it's going to attract people. What it's going to do is it's going to attract people to go ahead and click on, this Learn More button and go ahead to your landing page, right? So they're going to go to your landing page. From there, essentially, you're going to have a call out up here, right? Call your call out. From there, the VSL. Your VSL needs to look good. Don't have a stupid image, a stupid thumbnail. Make it look presentable, or else you're not going to attract the big guys. From there, it's, for example, a CTA. Let's call it a book call. Okay, where am I going with this? The people that you attract to here, okay, are going to judge the landing page, see if it's for them. Okay, if it's not, they're going to get off. Now, what also happens, they'll fill out a form. When they go to fill out that form, what happens if you've only been attracting highly unqualified people and you're accepting that, you're saying, hey, Facebook, great job. I love these guys. We're accepting them, right? There's options where you can tell Facebook to accept something or not accept it. As well, you can put a pixel on a landing page that says, hey, Facebook, good job. This is the type of person I want. Go look for more. So what happens when you send unqualified people to your Metapixel, all it's going to do is going to operate on shitty data. It's going to go back to here and say, hey, you found it. Good job. Look for more. And what happens, this is what it does. Who does it look for? It starts to look for, there's 2 options, option 1 or option 2. It's going to look for option 1 because, as you can see here in option 1, there's low quality people. There's more of them. There's not as many rich people in this world as there is poor people. Okay? We know that. Same goes for ads. All these businesses, there's more low quality people than there is high quality. So with that, if you're telling your Facebook pixel, hey, you found someone, good job, go find more people just like that. Go look at their behaviors. Where are they? What websites are they on? Right? Find that information and go look for more of them, just like the ones you just found. Because whatever you did, I'm telling you, you did a great job. Okay? Or what you can do is you deny all those people. You deny everyone in here. Right? They go to your Facebook account, they go to the ad, they click on the form, they fill out some information a certain way. Boom. Wrong. You're kicked out. Right? It says, thank you for submitting the form. Take care. We have set up in a way on our ad account that tells our ad account, do not look for more people like that. And what it does is it goes to the next 1,000 people, the next 1,000 people. That's why you have CPMs, cost per millions, cost per thousands. Okay? From there, it's going to go to the next pool, and it's going to try to look for people. What it's going to do is be like, oh, let me grab that. Oh, that guy looks kind of interesting. No, he's not interesting. No, he looks like the other guy. We don't want him. Nope. Well, how about this guy? He's got different behaviors, different interests. Let's pick him. Right? Sends the ad to that guy. More high qualified guy. Okay? He comes through. Then he fills out the form. Everything looks good. Yes, he gets put through. It sends that data back to the pixel. He gets sent to the confirmation page with the pixel on it. And from there, the ad account says, oh, okay, this is more like it, right? But the problem with that is there's not as many of these guys. So if you let your ad account just continuously search for these people, it'll find them a lot more. There'll be a lot more of them. It'll find them a lot easier. So you need to make sure that you make it hard for these people to get through because if you don't, you will never ever get these people. And these are the people that are going to be making you the money. It's not going to be the guys over here in option 1. It's going to be the guys over here where there's a select few of them. Okay? Yes, your cost might be higher, but I'll tell you right now, your cost per booking will be cheaper and your cost per call taken will be cheaper because these guys are high quality people, and high quality people have high quality standards. They respect time, they respect your time, they respect their own time, right? So you need to make sure that you're looking for the right people, because if you don't, your ad account will happen. It'll be a continuous cycle of good shitty prospects sees ad, shitty prospects book call, shitty prospects information and data gets sent to your Pixel. Pixel sends shitty prospect ad, shitty prospect fills out ad form back to the Pixel. So if you don't fix this, you don't have the right questions, if you don't have what we call brokey bait, right? There's questions that get rid of those guys. How do you get rid of them? When you put in questions as simple as, are you for example, let's go with contractors. Are you a contractor that's making over $1 million a year? Are you a contractor that's making $5 million a year? And so on and so forth. Or you might have 4 different options. They pick number 1, the lowest option, excludes them. Everyone else can come through. Over time, you start to get more of those high quality people. The less quality people, right? With those less quality people, they're not going to be coming through as much. It's going to ignore them. Okay? So you need to put in these questions. If you start to notice that in your ad account you have a lot of unqualified traffic coming through, you need to fix it. That way, your ad account, right? Again, let's say it targets one of these guys down here. It targets one of these people. We'll go back up here just for the sake of this. It then sends that ad to that qualified guy. One person. Again, you have like one shot at this. Send it to that guy. He sees this. He's like, okay, yeah, this is more my style. I like this. Fills out the form, books a call, right? And then that information gets sent back to the Pixel. Your Pixel like, oh, yeah, this is the type of guy we want, right? Like I was mentioning earlier, the Pixel goes in different pockets and it finds different people and it'll test. The people that you send back to the Pixel is going to continue to look for them. The people that you ignore, it's going to say, okay, that was not a guy. We don't want him. Let me go to that different pocket, and it finds the good guy. And then it takes his data, and everything will be based off of his data now, not the shitty guy, right? This looks like Christmas on here, so let me delete some of this. So that is, in a sense, how that works. So you guys need to make sure that you're not collecting shitty data, because this is what happens. It overlooks absolutely everything in the good data, and from that, you'll be talking to more broke people, right? So that's why your sales team talks to shitty people. Your setters are talking to shitty people. You can't close. Your show rates are decreasing. Your close rates are decreasing. Everything's decreasing in the wrong way. Your ad spend's increasing, right? The amount of people you're talking to is increasing, but no numbers come from it. And that's why you get the wrong data, right? Your sales team looks like they're bad, but realistically they're not. You just keep sending them shitty people to talk to. They want education. They don't want to buy. They want education. So here's a problem with all this, okay? If your ad account has a problem, ad account is picking up the wrong data and keeps sending it back to those people, okay? Now, just a little heads up, everyone that's in our inner circle, in the back channel rev scaling inner circle, they have access to SOPs just like this one here. They have 3 calls a week, right? Small group calls, not group coaching calls where you got 40 people on there. You try to get a question in, hour goes, and there's no more questions to be answered, right? You go off the call and you have to figure out yourself. That's not how we operate. Small groups, small concise groups of action takers, people who want to make a difference within their business and make more money. Those guys are on those calls, right? We make sure every single question is answered before we end those calls. As well, you have one-on-one call a week where I sit down with you personally, look over your entire account, look over all your funnels, help you with clients, right? Help you with your ads, help you with your clients' ads to make sure that you guys are getting them results, because they will stick with you. And if they stick with you, you have more money and you stick with me. See how that chain works? That's how this operates. So everyone in the back channel rev scaling inner circle has access to me 3 times a week, one-on-one call. As well, all the SOPs, the strategies, how to be profitable with your marketing, how to be profitable making good funnels, how to attract the right buyers, and as well, obviously the sales. You need to close these guys. So that being said, all the links will be down below in the description if you want to apply to one of those. Now, back to this. First things first is your ad account. This is where the problems start. So your ad account is getting the wrong data. Then what happens is once the wrong data goes through, it's like a chain reaction. It goes down into your marketing. Your marketing team they're going to make the wrong decisions. They're going to start to panic. Things aren't working, right? You guys are going to start to make different ads, whole new angles. Reality, it all was started because your pixel. If you don't fix your pixel, you can put out new ads, and all that's going to happen is it's going to get sent to those shitty people. And those shitty people are going to click on it because they're the bottom of the funnel. And they'll click on almost anything, right? Now, given, yes, you're going to scare them off with high callouts and stuff like that, but you're only going to be letting those people still through because the only thing your ad account knows, the only thing your pixel knows is to look for those people. So then what happens? Marketing, they book a call, all looks well, marketing numbers are sweet. Now, again, marketing team's they're still panicking. But they hop on a sales call. Now, they get on a sales call. These people are asking a bunch of questions, right? They want education. They don't know what you do. They don't really know if they have a problem that you can fix. They don't know anything. They don't have money. They just want education. Free. Free is their favorite word, right? So they come to these calls looking for free education. And what happens is your team close rate is going to start to fucking tank. Your show rates are going to start to tank. And that's going to affect your team's morale. Your sales team's going to think, oh, we're getting really bad at sales. We got to change stuff up. So things start getting changed, and they don't need to be changed. The process works. It's just you're talking to the wrong people. So the entire process, all these numbers look inflated. They look wrong, but in reality, you're just talking to the wrong people. Your show rate's not as bad as it seems, but you're talking to the wrong people. People don't respect their own time. Why would they respect yours? Why would they show up, right? So you got to keep that in mind. From there, what's going to happen is, yes, your sales team morale will go, but as well, some might even switch offers and they leave you. From that, if your sales team's gone, no cash, no business. And that is the biggest problem. So you need cash to have a business. And if everything is not working in tandem, your ad account gets screwed up, your pixel's screwed up, I should say, then your marketing will be screwed up. You guys will be making panic decisions and decisions on the fly. From that, your sales team will talk to shitty people. And when they talk to shitty people, I hate to break it to you, but you don't collect cash. So, again, guys, that is how you bring in highly qualified people. We'll take a little zoom out here. So, that's how you bring in highly qualified people. If you guys want to join and get access to the back channel Rev Scaling Inner Circle, again, links will be down below. If you're new to the channel, again, welcome in. Make sure to subscribe, drop a like, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.